So I'm here today to give a testimony of one of the trips that we did while we were in Brazil. So we traveled to the state of Alagoas, the Sertão of Alagoas, that's like the desert. Sertão means like the desert. And we visited one of our DreamRoot Training Center out there. And one of the visitors, the activities that the kids were doing at that moment was, some of the kids was doing jiu-jitsu, some of the kids are playing, some of the kids are reading, but some of the kids are doing arts and crafts in a table. So I sat down at the table and I was just watching all of the kids painting and drawing and just exercising creativity, and it was an amazing time the kids are having together. And I noticed one of the girls out there spoke to one of the boys. They're about like 7, 8 years old. And the girl said to the boy, "Hey, you forgot to write your name on the paper where they're doing the coloring." And the boy, almost like embarrassed, he looked down with a very sad face and he said, "Well, I don't know how to write my name." And I was sitting right there at the table, and obviously that broke my heart. It broke my heart, not just the fact that the boy couldn't know how to spell his own name. It broke my heart because I saw that guilt and shame on his face. Even the girl was a little confused, but she kept moving on and drawing. So I told the boy, "Hey, just continue to draw in here, and after you finish with this drawing, I'll make sure I'll help you how to write down your name." So he kept drawing, and from that moment on, you can see like his joy was not as much as he used to be, as he experienced that moment that was like kind of embarrassed for him. So after about 5 minutes, he looks at me and tells me, "Hey, Tony, I'm done with my drawing." And I was like, "Do you want to write down your name on the paper?" He goes like, "Oh, I don't know how to write down my name." I was like, "I can help you with that." And what I did was I put a lot of little dots all over, like spelling his name with a bunch of little dots. And then I told him, "Hey, get a pen and just follow the dots. And then in the end, it will be your name. You're gonna write down your name for your first time." He puts a very big smile on his face and he starts going through the lines, putting the lines on the dots. And it's amazing that every letter he would complete, his smile would get bigger, 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 bigger. And he finalized his name, he put his name out there, and it was just an incredible experience. And at that moment, he looked at my eyes and said, "Thank you so much." I was like, "Oh, you're very welcome." And then you can see in his face that what was the joy, it was beyond the drawing, was beyond the activity, was actually beyond his ability to write his own name. It was almost like he was getting his identity back. He started understanding and having more proud of who he really was by the activity of writing his name. The joy is coming back. You can see the confidence coming back. The funny thing is that he went to do another activity, and by the end of the day, he came to me once again and said, "Hey, Tony, can you do the same thing again? I would like to write my name one more time." And of course, I put the dots right there, and he just went all the way over and he wrote down his name one more time. And then I did a little game with him. I said, "Listen, I'm gonna write down your name 7 more times, and I want you every day you go through these dots this week, and slowly you keep training, and eventually you're gonna know how to write your name." It's kind of interesting because many times when we go to these places, we have our plans, what we're gonna be doing, what the activities we'll be doing, and how we wanna make sure we continue to encourage the leaders to continue to do their work. And all of the things are perfect. We must have a plan. We must have a vision when we go on these trips. But at that moment, what really struck my heart is the power of presence. All I had to do is put aside my desires, put aside my plans, and I really just sat down on the table right there to hang out with them. And as I spent time with them, I was able to see the interaction between the kids and just engage on that process to help them to understand that they can go a little farther. Later on, I understood by one of the local leaders saying that he has about nine siblings. None of the siblings can write. And we're talking about kids between 5 and 12 years old. Their parents, they cannot write, they cannot really read anything. But in this facility, what we're trying to do is not just bringing activity for the boys, so the girls, and to make sure they get busy. We really try, obviously there is the educational part. We want them to learn how to write and to read, and education extremely important if they want to get out of some of the conditions that they live with. But it's just that reminder of spending time with them is the best way, the most powerful way we can impact them. So I want to thank you once again for your support. I want to thank you for just the way you guys have been blessing us and encouraging us and helping us with resources for us to continue to do the work. Our joy is see and experience the things like that. But the reality is that it would be impossible. One, if we didn't have the dedication of all those leaders back in Brazil, but it would be impossible without your help. So I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, and let's continue to do the good work.